Isn't he Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home.
That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby.
He's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You're the blackest one in this room,
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border. And then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on American soil. So he became the anchor baby. They don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
Hello, I'm the American Anchor Baby, and this is my show. How you doing, folks? Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it. Here on this fine Monday. Back on Monday. Wow, kind of a heavy Monday for some, I guess. I mean, what are you doing carrying around? What are you doing carrying around all those feelings? What's wrong with you? What are you doing? I doesn't seem. I don't know the man. I haven't spoken to him. I don't know if I've even seen him speak publicly since what happened. I'm sure you all know. I don't know if he's holding on to all of that. And if I know anything about him, just from watching at a distance, I would say that is the case. So appreciate you tuning in here. 888-775-3773. You want to jump on the line there, get on hold, speak with the Anchor Baby, get it off your chest about this and beyond. Like, that's the news, folks. Look, it happened. As, people are saying they're not shocked, they're shocked. It's a mixture, I guess, right? You just, when you may hear about it, expect it, but then it happens and you're like, I guess it really went down. And, people are still wondering what went down exactly. So we'll wait and see. That's what we do here, do a little waiting and seeing. I'll present to you what people may be thinking and all that. There's no need to make crazy conclusions, I guess. Look, you know about it by now, right? The assassination attempt on Donald Trump. So we'll get into a couple of things here. Look, I even have stuff for you that has nothing to do with that. So stick around. We're going to get into all of it. 888-775-3773. Appreciate you being here in the chat. Thank you. Rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. Thank you, DLive.tv/Gorgonzola. How are all of you? You can follow me on X, by the way. Follow me on X, and that's @Gorgonzola. But yeah, thank you for tuning in those places. Let me just open up the chat. I want to see if you're there. I want to talk to the people. Thank you. Great stuff. Okay, so appreciate all of you being with me over the weekend. Well, we got down on Friday and Saturday. So thanks to everyone who joined us Friday. Okay, what a nice flight. We were in Europe on our way to Germany. Flew that plane all the way into Berlin, Brandenburg International. Beautiful landing. Manual. We took it manual. We took it back to an old Nick Stream. Panic, but not really. Your pilot had it under control. In fact, I had it in my hands, quite literally. We took the control from the autopilot in a moment of drama, in a moment of pure drama and ecstasy on the edge of your seat. What, are we going to die? Are we going to live? We're on our Euro trip in Europe for White History Month. Yes, July just feels white. Let the world know. Look, July feels white because during July, it's White History Month. Let them know. In July, it's White History Month, and July feels white. So, the drama, we took control. The autopilot's off. We're looking in front of us. Your pilot is informing his audience / passengers that I don't trust the computer. I don't trust what's being told right now. The instruments look wrong. I do not see a runway directly in front of me. The runway is off to the side. And in that moment, your pilot took control and landed the plane. What a show. Thank you for being with us on Friday if you were there. All the ballers and beyond. People in the front, people in the back. We had a nice show. Okay, we went to Germany and joined Europe on this Euro trip. Okay, White History Month. So right on. And I was back with you Saturday. I came in Saturday, post-Hake Beach stream. And I'm like, you know what? Let's do a little fun. Let's do a little thing with the people. I'm setting up my computer. I'm refreshing Twitter and boom. 4 minutes ago, Trump caption reads, shots rang out at Trump thing, whatever. I'm like, oh, what? I see the video on Twitter that doesn't play. It plays the video but doesn't play the audio, just to I tease it or whatever. And I see Trump put up his hand, goes down. I'm like, wait, hold on. I click into the video. Volume now is up. Shots are ringing out. Pop, pop, pop. He's holding his ears, going down. The Secret Service is going on. It's real. It's happening. The articles are coming out. I'm texting. I'm letting the bomb crew know. And I'm about to go live. I go live. And I do. I go live and we do some live reporting. So thank you everybody who joined us Saturday. We got together to at least discuss it a bit. I had callers and all that. And you're welcome to call me today, of course, 888-775-3773 for those rolling in just now. Thank you, Kale, Lord of the Pies, Kilo Alpha Tango. Thank you, everybody. Lucky, Larry, Donald, Esoteric, Harmony, Frederick, Sabbath. Thank you so much. So many of you here. Thank you. Mr. Pink, how y'all? Jennifer, how you doing, Lucky Larry? Thank you for that super chat. Says, how were those tacos? He mestizo. Yeah, where do I lie? It's unclear where in the quilt of race I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm talking about the chart, the chart the Spaniards had, right? The race chart. Are you castizo, mestizo? How Spaniard are you? And the pathway back to Spaniard. If you know what the heck I'm talking about. He mestizo. What am I? It's unclear. Am I castizo, mestizo? Some say I'm consider me white, which I'm like, okay. And I take it to mean that man must mean that I'm maybe more castizo than I consider myself to be. Or maybe even more Espanol. With a last name, with a family member, last name back there, Cortez. Maybe it's true. I don't know. Espanol? Come on, the Spanish are white. Come on, the Spanish are white. Weren't they taken over for like 400 years by the Arabs? I'm sorry, them glizzes is brown. Them glizzies is brownish at least, okay? We're talking about Moors. We're talking about the Moors. We're talking about, that some of that Arab oppression, okay? Some of that, we talk about colonialism, slavery. Let's talk about that Arab oppression. Yeah, I don't know about Espanol being all that white, okay? I consider Nick Canadian. Now, that is the most sobering maybe comment in the chat right now, causing me to almost go to a moment of silence here. Almost like with a little clown hat on top that's just funny. That is funny stuff. Trump assassination. People shocked. People all this and that. I saw this. I was saying this earlier. I saw this spirit in 2016, quite frankly. At least in part, I definitely sensed it. It's there. And for all the surprise of the actual moment happening and the legendary response and the hand up and just how perfect that could even be, the fact that he had, maybe he would have pushed a bigger Secret Service member out of the way to get the same kind of picture. But you got to understand, the female Secret Service agent that was in front of him was not tall enough to even cover the man fully. His face, his head exposed when he stood up. The female Secret Service agent covering that area in front of the camera, not tall enough, his head peeking over, with blood, the hand. I mean, you can't script these things better. Oh, there's that word, scripting. Is it scripted? Is it scripted? Oh, man. Oh man, did they fake it all? You can't. It was just so perfect. And I think for those naysayers, what do you don't even? I bet you don't even believe in Santa. Now you've been lied up to about everything, haven't you? You lost every little ounce of hope, huh? You don't even have an ounce of hope left. I'm not laughing. You're laughing. That is scripted. Look, it's just too perfect. Yeah. Legends and destiny has a way of being that way. You know, God. Maybe throwing in the God word now a little too far for you. Yeah, destiny has a way of being that way. I'm just saying. Look, I saw this spirit in 2016. Though I remember friends who I thought were the nicest people. They were the nicest people ever. I thought they wouldn't hurt a fly, all that kind of stuff. Old ladies, some of them. The nice old lady at work suddenly turned violent. I'm telling you, violent. This is 2016. Trump is running. I'm in Canada. You got to understand this. I'm in Canada. Growing up in Canada. Coworkers, people around me turned violent. Or at least, at the very least, in their speech. With not an ounce of reflection of, okay, wait, hold up. Their faces they would make contort in these demonic ways. They would squirm around in their seats at just speaking about this guy, this man, Trump, who I had known nothing about at the time. They told me he was this TV guy, and this TV guy's wow, America's a mess. Look at this joke. Part of me maybe even shared in some of that. Huh. Oh, you tell me this is a TV guy? And they're making him president? Oh, no way. And I know I've told you guys many times how seeing this evil was the beginning for me, seeing like a spirit, like looking at life from a spiritual way, if I may. And I just don't know. I don't know if you know that you could live 20 odd years of your life and be quite childish in your understanding of evil, understanding of many things, and chalk things up to, I don't even know what to tell you. So to see that in people, their faces contort, the demons come out, I could only conclude that it was that. And you know, it's so much more than that. That was 2016. I was saying to you the other day, everything shows us that we were supposed to take that gift and go further. Trump is one man, the son of God, but hey, so why aren't you? Why aren't you? You understand what I'm saying here? So that's what I mean by it's more than that. It's more than 2016. It's more than Trump. More than. Oh my God, they thought he was racist, but it's more. It's even beyond that. Okay. About how much you can learn about yourself, how much you can learn about life. Look, let me continue here. So I know I've told you guys that before. And honestly, it makes sense that someone would try something like this. Whatever you believe. Whether it's the CIA did this, whether it's whatever you may think, it makes sense for what he represents and simply that alone. Because you could nitpick all day even. Politics, his first term. I'm sure some of you callers who've called my show, and I'm talking about some pretty smart criticisms. There's some people who are gone off the deep end. But yeah, I've had some smart callers on my show. And some of them are pretty on it. Politically, what they've been seeing and following. Republicans, Democrats, the mess, the corrupt apparatus that Trump is navigating. And that is what is happening with American politics today. So it makes sense something like this would be attempted merely for what he represents. Because like I was saying, you could say that you could bring up all sorts of criticisms. Oh, he's not this, he's flawed, he's not a Christian, he's not the son, he's all so many things. But even with all that, it's what he represents that's more of a threat. And some of you guys scoff at that. You know, you've heard us say that, heard maybe James heard me say how what he represents it being more important, you know? And anyway, so look, you can call me about what criticisms you have about Beyond, whatever you want to say. But don't scoff at that. Don't scoff at that force, that example. the people who scoff at that are the people who, if I may lampoon so many, and this maybe it's not you, but you don't really want to do the work that is required. Like what we're talking about, countless decades of corruption politically. We're talking about mothers leading the homes, creating the weakest generations of men ever, afraid of simple things, unable to just live life and discover for themselves using what they have. Just a stuck culture, stuck men, stuck generations. And it's like, no, but Trump won. Wait, he didn't change all of America and the hearts of men and change in all of politics? Man, and I don't take this to mean that you can't criticize Trump like some kind of cope. But I'm talking about the hearts of ourselves here, us watching here. What 2016 was a while ago. You understand? We're getting to 10 years. 10 years. Imagine that. So it's what he represents. Okay, I see calls coming in. Thank you. 888-775-3773. This evil spirit, I'm telling you, it's been around. And they're just happy to just speak in this way. You've seen Destiny maybe around. And other liberals I showed you Saturday when this was all going down. I was showing you how I was showing you videos of this one lady. She was like, oh, why did he miss? This guy, Destiny's all over, just loving this whole, like, at least he should have missed. He shouldn't have missed. All I see, Biden is up one in Pennsylvania talking about a dead Trump voter. Like, I'm not showing you this I'm not showing you this to say, oh my God, look, it's so crazy. It's so evil. Look at how angry and evil people are. And so you can be shocked at what Destiny's saying and what others are saying. No, this is what's been there. Okay, this is what's been there. And it's definitely not to be shocked. Okay. Tell me, let's be real for a second. How many people, let's say it was an attempt at Biden. Let's be real for a second. I mean, how many of our MAGA brothers would be out there kind of doing the same thing, some of them? If you ask me, in my opinion, without any data, without any whatever, it's like, let's do some sides here. We're doing some tribalism just for a moment here. Come on, MAGA, like conservatives, Republicans, they're like boomers and like beyond. It's like, yeah, they're definitely the nicer side. Come on. The nicer side, like the less criminal side, straight up. The less maybe even mentally ill side we're talking about. Or at least the less on drugs. Okay, maybe now it's like, now that's everybody. So we don't really have that much of a moral, like we're that high morally here. I don't want to say that. I just wanted to be a little fair, sort of. But you see, you're sensing my apprehension. It's due to, my inability. I'm unable to see that we're really that much different when it comes to anger, when it comes to hate and anger, and blaming and victimhood. On those things, can we say we're that different? They say the Christians are supposed to be different, all that. Okay, I can't help but mention that. So evil spirit, it's been out there. You see them do this, and they go out there just trying to get your goat, just trying to get you going. So yeah, trying to get you going. And on this whole like call for calm and call for political violence has no place, you hear Biden, he came out, he did his address. I want to see if I can show you this here. We're going to ABC for this one. Biden did address, besides this little thing I saw on Saturday, here he is addressing the nation, okay? Following the Donald Trump assassination. And we're going to zero in on this little part of it. I'm sure you could watch it yourself if you haven't already. Biden continues on this call for, not to have political violence has no place and that kind of stuff. But he does bring up examples of political violence. And you may have heard this already mentioned. I can't help but have to show it to you here again. Look, Biden describing the political violence, disavowing it all, but it seems a little one-sided here.
Earlier today, I spoke about an ongoing investigation. We do not know the motive of the shooter yet. We don't know his opinions or affiliations. We don't know whether he had help or support or if he communicated with anyone else. Law enforcement professionals, as I speak, are investigating those questions. Tonight, I want to speak to what we do know. A former president was shot, an American citizen killed, while simply exercising his freedom to support the candidate of his choosing. We cannot, we must not go down this road in America. We've traveled it before throughout our history. Violence has never been the answer. Whether it's with members of Congress of both parties being targeted and shot, or a violent mob attacking the Capitol on January 6th, or a brutal attack on the spouse of former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, or information and intimidation on election officials, or the kidnapping plot against the sitting governor, or an attempted assassination on Donald Trump. There is no place in America for this kind of violence, or for any violence ever.
The calls for calm and the calls for love. But this guy goes on with this one-sided crap. I get it, okay? It's politics, right? You got to make the guy who wants to end democracy. You got to win against that guy, right? The guy who wants to end democracy and all that. He's trying to, win an election. I thought that was our democracy. Hold on. Anyways, so it's politics, But that's so evil. That's what the media's been doing for years. And it's this atmosphere. It's this. It's the conditions are just so perfect for creating crazy people. When you lie, make it one-sided. See, he's talking about January 6th and all this political violence from the Gretchen Whitmer plot. You remember he brings that up, and you can get the deets from the Hake report. I remember that. I'm telling you. Remember, it was there was federal agents involved with that, and it was basically them goading citizens and getting them to do this Gretchen Whitmer crap. But it's this right wing. He didn't say right wing, right? But it's like the guy came to shoot Donald Trump, and the people of the media is like, he was a registered Republican. Yeah, obviously this is not your regular situation, okay? So a little bit of calm. So anyways, Biden, I keep seeing this same crap from the people who express love. An unrelenting stream, the greatest threat, this white terrorism, all this crap. So anyways, so that's that's a little bit from the camp calling for no political violence and all that, which I'm not saying I don't believe. I think that's somewhat sincere. It's just you got to be blind or evil to then turn around and then push everything that empowers and gives life to all the worst parts of us. The judgmental part, they talk about racism. What a conspiracy theory. Okay. And they're talking about fate. It was fate. I remember on Saturday, the early reports were talking about this moment where Trump turned his head, okay? So he turns his head. The idea, the thought here is that in this moment where he turned his head and that he was turning his head to read something here, he's going off the script. And I have that moment for you here. He turns his head. They're saying that changed the trajectory. Okay, it was meant for his head. Okay, it was meant for his head, but just this turn of it was meant for, If you're looking at the screen right now, I'm doing some high-level ballistics trajectory with my hands. Okay, this is some high-level stuff. Okay, imagine my head. That's brain. You turn your head, all ear, baby, all ear. And they're saying it was this one moment. They're saying it's this one moment. They're saying being racist literally saved his life, is what some are. They're joking, obviously. They're just messing around, you bunch of hooligans. Being racist literally saved his life. And this person is retweeting this, was posting this from Mario Nafal. Trump, the immigration statistics chart saved my life. That chart that I was going over saved my life, he told his former White House doctor, Rep. Ronnie Jackson, referring to an immigration statistics chart he pointed to just as shots rang out at his rally in Butler County, Pennsylvania. Dr. Jackson recounted Trump saying, if I hadn't pointed at that chart and turned my head to look at it, that bullet would have hit me right in the head. So it looks like Trump himself is thinking this too, according to the New York Times. Jackson, who flew to New Jersey to visit Trump, noted the former president sounded determined and unflustered. Maybe this adds to what I was saying earlier. Doesn't seem like Trump is carrying all that emotion. Why are you? And so this is the chart in question. They threw it up on the big screen. Thank you, Jamie. I'm just, from Joe Rogan or something like that. I don't even watch. Illegal immigration into the USA. We're peeping the chart, the life-saving chart. Someone get this. We need this on a shirt. You want to put Trump and his fist up and bloody and surrounded by Secret Service on a shirt? I want to put this illegal immigration chart on this shirt. We are not the same. Illegal immigration into the U.S. I think that says Biden world record illegal immigrants, many from prisons and mental institutions, also terrorists. And then we got some snazzy charts showing all the snazzy immigration crap. Look, DACA announced and there was a spike. Obama family detention policy, whatever. MPP begins. Does that stay in Mexico? And then, boom, Biden. Remember, Trump had some serious things happening right before he left. Remain in Mexico and COVID stuff. Really, really put a dent in all that. Look, Trump leaves office, lowest ever in these last few years, and then, bow, Biden, floodgates. You are here. This arrow is you, us, right now. What a mess. So the chart may have saved his life. He turns his head at what seems to be the last moment. You don't believe it? You maybe don't believe it. You need more. You need more. You need charts. You need simulations. You need images, side-by-sides. You need graphics. You need mathematics. Okay, you don't believe it yet, do you? This is how dangerously close the world was being plunged into hell. Trump moved his head at the right moment with help from divine intervention. Any object capable of piercing the skull all the way through a part of the brain is enough to instantly kill a human being. See? I was saying this Saturday, Twitter people are confirming it. Okay, don't get too into this, but maybe you just don't believe it. Okay, we're trying to get you the information, the theories. You need more? You need more? It gets crazier. You're not. You need this now. You need more charts and simulations. Okay, computer, tell me just how crazy it was. Sorry, a little blood. That's Trump's ear. It gets even crazier, says this person on Twitter. There was a 7-mile-per-hour crosswind at the Trump's rally yesterday, enough to push a .556 round 2 inches to the left of its target at 150 yards. If there hadn't been a slight crosswind yesterday, that bullet would have gone straight through Trump's skull, is what they say. You're seeing the 3D images here. You're seeing the words say just that. Bullet intended trajectory. I don't know how they knew that. Look at this. This is the roof over here. We have the crosswind direction denoted by the blue line. I don't know who put that there, but we're just going to believe them. divine intervention, wind. I mean, it is amazing. I'm being just a little bit facetious, I'm poo-pooing all the theories, but it is fascinating to watch, okay? And I will get to calls. Thank you. 888-775-3773. Appreciate the patience. About to get to you. It gets a little funky, they're saying, with this video. You may have even seen this exact video where, obviously, you've seen the moment here, Trump and the shots ringing out. Someone put this side by side together with, what's some are, they're saying these are some eyewitness people who were near the building where the shooter was. They are filming him here while Trump is speaking, crawling up to the roof. You hear in the video people calling out, there's a shooter trying to bring attention to this person crawling up to the roof who, according to eyewitness reports, reported him having a gun. They sync up the Trump video because in this other video, you can hear Trump's speech going on. The person who edited this video synced up the Trump speech with the people calling out this person on the roof. They even put a little timer here. I want you to see this because they're saying that they should have responded faster. That this was a failure of, like Elon Musk is saying that this was either it was either incompetence, which is very likely if you ask me, I think the most likely one, or even deliberate is how egregious this was to some. You'll see the timer here. You can make that decision for yourself. It could very well be that the video and them calling this guy starts even well before this. But we have the side-by-side with the timer. You let me know if you think this was fast enough of a response. I'll let you know. Spoiler alert, my thoughts. I think in about a minute, yeah, things can go right. You're trying to find out, trying to ID the shooter. Is it really a shooter? Is it just a person? Are you going to kill an innocent? I don't know. I don't know about those questions. But they have this video right now.
Maybe the Pacific.
We're 8 seconds in already.
Look, there he is right there. Right there, see him? He's laying down, see him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
And still I'm here with you fighting like hell to get a senator.
What's happening?
And to make sure we take back the White House, because if we do, we're going to make America better than ever before. We're going to make it.
Yeah, look.
There he is. Easy, because we have millions and millions of people in our country that shouldn't be here. Dangerous people. Criminals. We have criminals. We have drug dealers. We have people that should not be here. And it's much tougher than if it happened. We have the strongest border ever. In recorded history, we had the best border. In fact, if they could ever put up a chart, I don't know if they can do it. Do you guys have access to that chart that I love so much? You don't mind if I go off teleprompter, do you? Because these teleprompters are so damn boring, I try and explain that. Oh, there's it. Wow. You guys are doing it. They're getting better with time. My guys, take a look at that chart. Take a look at the arrow on the bottom. See the big red arrow, right? So that's when I left office. That was the lowest point, and that comes right from the government services, comes right out of Border Patrol. Take a look at that. So that arrow is the lowest amount of illegal immigration ever in recorded history into our country. And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that says,
I hope he's turning this way. Be careful, guys.
We got breaking news. Coming in. Shots fired. Seems to be shots fired at the Trump rally. Is he okay? We need to go live right now.
So as you can see, this I'm sure you've seen the moment numerous times at this point, over and over again. I know I did on Saturday, played it over and over again. And I'm sure you've seen the moment. I don't know if you saw this, though. I don't know if you saw that. I don't know if you've seen this yet. Not only this synced up video, and there's Trump right there, fist up, but I don't know if you saw the moment. I don't know if you've seen the moment where he says, I'm going off script. I'm going to check out the chart. Now, I don't want to poo-poo here, Mr. President. You did turn around to the chart quite a bit before the shots rang out. Now there we are, scrutinizing. But I don't doubt that some wind, some powerful force, some destiny is taking you all the way, sir, if you're listening. That being said, 2-ish minutes, almost 3 minutes in from these reports, from these people, I mean, it's pretty egregious stuff. I think it's within the time limit, time of incompetence, so to speak. I mean, honestly, look, I don't know. I'm not going to make a comment on that. I'm not going to tell you why this is happening. Not exactly. I don't know. A crazed individual, angry enough at what he may believe is happening, ready to take down the president for their democracy or for whatever reason. Or beyond that even. Sordid political games, which is not at all out of the world of even reasonable possibilities in our own even recent history. Do you know how nasty and dirty these politics goes? Especially when you're dealing with the most powerful country in the world, some of the most powerful countries in the world. So I'm not going to make a conclusion on that. I just wanted you to see this, to see the side-by-side. This was a great edit someone made with the audio synced up so that you could see for yourself how long the response was. Anybody see this and get the thought that this was fake? That this was staged? Staged by Trump or beyond? Anybody get that thought? I got a similar thought. I had a similar thought. And, people will hear me say that and think, you reasonable people hearing me say that are like, wait a second, I thought Nick was reasonable. How's he going to have such an unreasonable thought? No, you don't understand. You ever seen the movie Dune? Like the navigators, the guild navigators, the ones who they have to, to navigate space, they have to basically use this drug and have to hurt themselves, but they have to hurt themselves and sacrifice and have this like tough life where they have to like strap themselves into this device and they have to take this drug and just go through this pain to be able to navigate the mysteries of space. Okay, that's kind of like me with the mind and the internet and stuff. I'm like, imagine me like this like test tube freak. Like I'm just all plugged in on the internet and the world and stuff in the world, and I was traumatized as a child and I retreated into my imagination like Jesse describes, and so I'm kind of like that. Okay, I know what the devil's saying. Okay, I know I'm using the dark side, dark force here. Okay, and that's from hell. Okay, and this is why I know. Look. I stream minutes later, the news breaks. I go live. We don't even know it's a gunshot. Let me put it like this. Because I heard it before. I've heard it before. We've been lied to. Nick, we've been lied to about everything, actually. And, okay, we've been lied to a lot. By our school system, our government, by our own families who've gone all in with the prevailing culture, forces bigger than themselves, swept up by the world, blown here and there. I get it. We've been lied to. I've heard it. I've heard this. We've been lied to, man. But man, some of you, we've been lied to people. Gotta calm down. You guys gotta calm down. Like you guys love talking about truth, for example. You guys are these truth guys. You'd be like, I'm a truth seeker, man. I'm a truth seeker. That's why I don't believe the media and I don't believe Joe Biden, and I don't believe NASA. Okay, I'm a truth seeker. And I love the energy. Don't get me wrong. I love conspiracy theorists. I love the energy. I love it. I love that having people around because it makes for more interesting conversation. It makes for more interesting what you're even allowed to talk about. They kind of open that up, what you're even allowed to talk about. But this whole, like, you guys talk about truth. I'm a truth seeker. Look, I literally started streaming minutes after the news broke. I'm live. We have no info on the shooter at this point. Not even sure if it was even a gunshot. We're not even sure if it was gunfire. No, we can't confirm the reports. And I had a caller talking about, I don't know, Nick. You really believe this, man? That was ketchup. You really believe, man? You really believe this? I had a caller right already. We don't even know if it was even gunfire. We just saw the video, the pop, pop, pop. We saw someone go down. We don't even have, at this point, we don't even have that second part where he goes up with his fist up. I'm just showing the board. I'm just showing my audience the video with the pop, 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 and he goes down in the Secret Service. At this point, we don't know anything. And I already got a caller talking about, I don't know, Nick. I don't know. There's supposed to be blood splatter. There's supposed to be blood splatter. Where's the splatter? Where's the blood splatter? I don't see a blood splatter pattern. Yeah, like suddenly an expert exactly on how ears get blown up. Like, you suddenly an expert all of it. Look, if I may do a little devil's avocado for you sudden blood experts, splatter experts, have you ever gotten like a scrape, like a really fast, have you ever gotten like an injury where it's like, I don't know, for example, here's a good one. You're skateboarding and you just rip off a chunk of flesh from your shin, or you rip off a hunk of flesh from somewhere a little more bony, even somewhere even a little fleshy. If you rip off a hunk of flesh fast enough, you notice it's just like rip flesh and it's like white, and then the little bubbles of blood come through. You know what I'm talking about? Come on. Who knows what I'm talking about? You just like a quick, and then it's like white, and then it's just like blood seeps through. Then the blood seeps through. Come on. If we're gonna be blood splatter experts, you know what I mean? So I'm just saying, stop with this. Like, let's the questions, we'll get to where they matter, but it's like just instantly right away. It's ketchup. It's like, calm down. Stop with this. That's trauma. You're showing fear, okay? You've been traumatized that the world lied to you. The world lied to you, and now you go with anything that seems like the truth, that seems like it's not like with the world or something like that. You've been conditioned and you don't know it. Led into another trap of the mind, which can be exploited by the evil in other people. Okay? So stop with this. Stop with the truth guru stuff about seeking truth. I'm just going to sit here in my room and ignore all the media, ignore everything. I don't read books. I don't read anything. I don't read anything at all. I just know the truth. Like God said, be still and know the truth. It's like, how do you know that? Stop with that, about that, okay? It's like, you'll get that same type of person and then and they'll be like, the earth is flat. And you'll ask them, okay, how do you know that? They'll be like, the firmament. That doesn't mean anything. You're just saying a word, the firmament. I thought you were a truth seeker. Do you understand what I'm getting at? You might be asking, but isn't that true, Nick? Haven't we been lied to? Isn't this Satan's world? Yeah, but you don't even know if that's true. Think about it. How are you going to know the world is a lie if you haven't gone out to find out for yourself? How do you know that this political event is an absolute lie if you haven't gone out to find out for yourself? How do you know the devil is a lie? How do you know the devil is a lie without knowing yourself? You haven't gone out to find out for yourself. You heard that, but you haven't gone out to find out. You can discover, by the way, did you know that? I think we got enough of that truth that I'm describing. You got enough of that. Fellas at home, people listening to me, you've been getting red-pilled. You've been getting woke you've been getting all red-pilled on all the truths of the world. That's enough. You got enough of those. You got stocked up on those, okay? You got plenty of those. Time to stack your money up. Time to stack your money up. Time to read a book, okay? Time to actually know what the heck you're talking about. If you want to talk about it. Maybe you're not interested in the things of the world, politics, or whatever mess. Well, okay, just don't pretend like you know. Do you understand what I'm saying here? I'm talking about the truth seekers, the so-called truth seekers. How do you know something's a lie if you haven't gone to find out for yourself? Okay? How do you know the CIA is a lie? How do you know that? Do you understand what I'm saying here? Because it might be true. It sure rings true. It sure rings true. How do you know the world is a lie if you haven't gone to find out, though? Am I making some sense here? You follow me, folks? 888-775-3773. I think we got enough conspiracy theories or conspiracy truths, conspiracy facts, some of them, many of them. But I think we've stocked up on enough of those, okay? We already know this or that is a lie. Why aren't you a savage in your life? Let's deal with that. Why let's deal with that, huh? Why aren't you unstoppable force like Trump? Why don't you have money? You know what I mean? Like simple, like it's true. Like work on yourself. You know, I'm not discounting, I'm not saying anything, I'm not telling you not to work on yourself, right? I'm not telling you money is the most important thing. Right, folks? You're hearing me correctly here? I'm just saying it's time to live. It's time to live your life, okay? And I think I'm clear now. You feel me? Okay. The church needed repairs. All of the seekers at the church could not come up with even half the money needed, but they prayed. The brothel owner put up all the money by the end of the day. I don't know if this is allegory, is poetry, or what. Everything is fake, but right on me. True. Yeah. You can't just be sitting like a truth seeker in your room, sitting there like, I'm a truth seeker. How do you know that? Come on, at least that made sense, right? Time to get your money up, not your funny up. I don't know, whatever. I do want to talk about the SS here in a minute here. On this White History Month. Yep, we're going there. We're talking about the SS. Secret Service. I'll say this, though, on the truth seekers and on going with the first feeling and thought and lies and stuff like that. I'll say this. In this world of politics, in this, right now, this moment with Trump and all this, here's what I'm trying to say with that, just to be quick. In this world of politics, it's a nasty world, okay? And if you actually like look, just look up events, just your widely reported political events of our time, you'll see that it's full of corruption, lies, assassinations. But in other countries, right? Not here. That would never happen here. Corrupt government that wants to assassinate. Look, in this world of politics, you don't want to just what I'm trying to say is like it's just not this crap we've been fed on TV. Biden doing his State of the Union, Chuck Schumer standing in front of some crowd or they're in Congress talking about this is the law and this is what's got to happen and this is what we're fighting for. No, you're wrong. That whole show is not politics. It's power struggles, money. And okay, so you followed me, right? So don't make any conclusion. Wait and see, because it's a nasty world. The SS, the Secret Service. We're talking about the Secret Service here. No, big time, everything is fake. You got the vibe correctly. Lots of talk about the Secret Service right now, their failures and their diversity. And I'm sure you've seen it, but it has to be reported and immortalized here on this stream on the American Anchor, baby. The Secret Service is committed to having 30% of its employees be women. It also has a quota requiring that 12% of employees have disabilities and that 2% have targeted disabilities. I have a disability, apparently, like being intellectually disabled or deaf. Keith Woods with some reporting here on X.com. X, where the truth is. Keith Woods, on this diversity stuff, sharing a couple of tweets and images. Here's one from the U.S. Secret Service. U.S. Secret Service posted this in March 2024 in our latest podcast. Inspector Maria Ruano and ATSAIC Kelly Friedman talk about the 30x30 initiative, aiming for 30% women in law enforcement by 2030. Their insights highlight our drive for diversity and strength. Listen to their powerful discussion. Wow, that's just one image there in the foreset coming at us from Keith Woods. We're going to go full screen on this one. A plan to identify job applications with disabilities. Number one, describe the programs and resources the agency uses to identify job applicants with disabilities, including individuals with targeted disabilities. In accordance with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, and it puts out the U.S. Code law and all that, Rehabilitation Act, the Secret Service is committed to increasing the representation of persons with disabilities. That is PWD, persons with disabilities. Where my PWDs at, huh? Oh, you don't have to disclose your PWD status in the chat, but shout out, including persons with targeted disabilities. That is a PWTD, which is, I believe, a rarer subset here, a person with targeted disabilities. In the workforce, the Secret Service adopted the goal of having 12% of its workforce comprised of PWD employees and 2% PWTD employees. To meet these goals, the Secret Service implemented recruitment initiatives to educate professionals with disabilities about the agency's mission and career opportunities. LED established partnerships with organizations that assist professionals with disabilities find meaningful employment. Jeez. Can you do something? You could do literally anything else. How about finding them meaningful employment literally anywhere but the tasked with protecting with your body the President of the United States? I mean, can we find them meaningful employment literally somewhere, anywhere else? Anywhere else? The Secret Service implemented strategies to connect with professionals with disabilities and educated them about the Secret Service mission and career opportunities. I just forgot when the Secret Service mission changed. I mean, I guess they're trying to say it's their mission in addition to protecting the president, right? In addition, not ahead of. Okay, it's in addition. Okay, we could do it all. We could have diversity. We could do it all. So said Eve, or something like that. Oh, geez, Keith Woods. Does it get worse? Don't tell me it gets worse. The U.S. Equal Opportunity Commission finalized a rule this month that will set a hiring goal for all federal agencies. All federal agencies. Under the plan, 12% of each entity's workforce should be people with disabilities. 2% should be targeted conditions, including intellectual and developmental disabilities. And then he shares one final image. Damn, Jennifer Lawrence let herself go a little bit here. You know what I mean? J-Law, things not been looking up for you. Have you been, was she a good actress, or was she just, J-Law or Jennifer Lawrence slash, what's that woman's name? Who was that woman? That woman, a comedian who they gave her a lot of crap because she would be nasty or whatever. Amy Schumer. We got a little fusion ha. This is for my DBZ fans. A little fusion ha between Amy Schumer and Jennifer Lawrence. It's a mess. It's a mess. She got good trigger finger discipline. Yeah, right on, lady. You got it. You got that trigger finger discipline. This is the same woman in this image that's going around. Disparity of action, folks. What do you think? The two men covering Trump, the female What? Come on, she's just taking cover and assessing the situation. Don't judge her just because her body language is less assessing the situation and more. Look, even her hand is kind of going like this. Is more like cowering, more like ooh. Don't stop judging the body language. Okay, she's just the fellas already got it. They already got the job of covering the president. She's taking cover and assessing the situation. Okay, don't look at the body language. Don't look at the body language. Don't worry about that. But yeah, people are saying it's not good. We got a transcript from CNN of the words uttered on the stage as the moment was happening. This is from CNN, what was said on the stage. And I'm going to get to calls right after this. Thank you for the patience. 888-775-3773. What was said on stage in the seconds after Trump was shot? We are zeroing in on a certain moment here. We're going to timestamp 18/11/41. Here it reads, so we're going 18/11/34. It reads, Trump touches the right side of his face. 18/11/35. Trump takes cover as agents rush to the podium. Male agent 1. Get down, get down, get down. More shots heard as Trump surrounded by agents. 18/11/41. Female agent. What are we doing? What are we doing? Where are we going? Man indistinctly yelling. 18/11/50. Gunshot. Then woman screams. 18/11/58. Male agent 2. Go around to the spare. Go around to the spare. Female agent. What are we doing? What are we doing? Where are we going? Male agent 2. Go around to the spare. That's CNN, folks. I'm just telling you. That's CNN on the reporting. I'm no expert. I know people, we got all sorts of questions. I think the man was shot. He was injured in the air. That happened. If you ask me, that's just me being normal. Stop being crazy. You little truth seeker. Who, why, what, where, when, all these are questions. Look, what a mess. They're saying AR-15. We'll get into more details as we go on here. I want to get to calls. Was it a failure? Was it deliberate? Elon Musk calling for the head to be, the head who's a woman, committed to diversity, to resign. Thomas Matthew Crooks, name of the shooter out. 20-year-old guy, apparently, 20-something. We'll get into it as we go on. I got more stuff for you. And even beyond the shooting, some mess happening in Florida you got to see. Look, let's get to Mark, though, out of Los Angeles. I do appreciate your call, sir. How you on?
Yes.
How you doing? You're on the air.
Happy
White History Month. Let's go, sir. Right on.
Okay. You guys aren't saying it, but I love you.
No, I said it at the same time as you. So you can't. I said it at the same time.
I've had to get on 3 times already.
I know.
He doesn't say it. I don't know why.
It's nothing that deep. It's because it's nothing that deep. Here, if I may put words, if I may assume what may be in the heart of Hake, you might have to ask him yourself. I rep White History Month so hard already. I wear the shirt. I go out. I tell the people I'm going to buy Coca-Cola. Nice Coca-Cola over at the Shell, and I'm like, hey, it's White History Month. I rep it so hard that I forget telling a caller. You know what I mean, Mark?
Yeah, I always try to remind you guys, but that's all good. I wanted to ask you, do you think the attempted assassination on President Trump was sort of a conspiratorial thing, meaning there may have been some deep state people who wanted this guy to kill Trump? And the reason I asked, because you were just talking about it, there were people, I was watching it live when it happened, but there were people in the crowd telling the cops and everybody, hey, there's a guy over there on the roof with a gun, and they ignored him. So do you think it was just sloppy work on the Secret Service part, or do you think it was purposefully done so that they could take Trump out?
I really sincerely don't know. I just got to say, I sincerely don't know. I think if you ask me, if you're just asking me, I mean, I think both are just as likely. I'm not going to be one to say, no, not at all. We're talking about a whole system who's done everything but try and kill him to take him down and stop him from being president. Okay. So I'm not going to be saying, but I sincerely don't know. I think it's just as likely this guy, an angry guy with a gun, young guy, saw the opportunity, The reports are Secret Service did not secure the nearest tallest building.
Right.
400 feet
Is that
from.
purpose?
These are just the.
Is that on
This is just
purpose?
some of the news. We'll go on if you'd like to speak on it. To be fair, this is some of the reports. Apparently a ladder, and here's a image of it. A ladder was placed in advance of the shooting on the building. Could be for many reasons. I'm just telling you what's being reported. Attendees alerted law enforcement to the presence of the shooter. You even saw the video I played side by side, almost 3 minutes. I mean, what do you think, Mark? Go ahead, speak on it.
No, I believe, well, I think that I want to believe that it was incompetence on the part of the Secret Service, but something tells me there may be more to it than that. Because this guy had a perfect shot. On another show this morning, they had a diagram of how the bullet, went by Trump, nicked his ear. But then on another picture, had Trump just moved an inch, his head, the bullet would have went through the brain. So that's got to be God who protected the president by having, I believe anyway, that God intervened to protect our president, and that's how that went. Let me tell you real quick about an experience I had this morning. I'm waiting to get on the bus, and, some black guy comes up to me wanting to talk. He looked kind of shaky. He said, are you for Trump? I said, yep. And that isn't what he wanted to hear.
He came right up to you with no.
He goes, hey, how you doing? Small talk. I knew he was evil. You could just tell by looking at him. So then he says to me, are you for Trump? I go, yeah, I'm for Trump. He goes, well, Trump speaks a lot of evil. That's why he was almost shot. And I said, but he wasn't shot, was he? Almost don't count. I said, God protected Trump because he wants Trump to be our next president. And that wasn't going over too good. So I was ready to fight. I don't like to fight, but I'm not going to back down to some white-hating scum on the street. And then he asked me if I liked Putin. I said, well, I believe if Trump had been president, Putin would have never invaded Ukraine. Of course, he was too stupid, very low IQ, had no response. And then he was a little shorter than me, but he just walked on and I walked on.
Are you fat or fit?
Fit.
So you can fight?
Oh, well, I can. I didn't want to fight in the middle of the street. You know what I mean?
So you were on the bus? Or you were out on the street? Oh, you were waiting for the bus. Now, why did he come up to you?
Well, he just saw me standing there.
You were just by yourself?
I was watching. Yeah, he was by himself. But
there was nobody else at the bus stop?
There was another white guy, but he was just standing off to the side.
So he just struck up a conversation, really. Nothing to read into that at all. Like he really was just striking up a conversation. Were you wearing a Trump shirt? Were you like, hey man, what do you think about the shooting?
No, nothing like that. I was in regular clothes, and I could tell by the way he was looking at me that he wanted to start something, and I was ready for it. And so, most white people would cower and say, oh, I hate Trump, like cowards that they are. So I went up to him. Maybe that was what he was expecting to hear. But I said, no, I'm for Trump 100%.
So a black guy comes up to us, a black guy walks up to a random white guy at a bus stop. They're both alone. And the black guy asks him, do you like Trump? If the white guy were to lie, that's a coward?
Unless he
you might be right.
Wasn't. If he really was.
Let's say he really was a Trump supporter, though. And you're alone at the bus stop. In the daytime, even. And a black guy comes up, he's like, do you like Trump? You're saying it would be cowardly to lie.
If I was a liberal who didn't like Trump, I would have said, no, I don't like Trump. But I'm not a liberal, and I do like Trump. So I told him so. But what I mean by
I don't blame you for that. Look,
I would have told him.
Maybe that person is a coward, but hey, maybe that person's just smart. Look, I don't know if you. A black person just randomly asking if you like Trump, I don't know if that's a question you want to be answering, especially if you're by yourself or if you're at a disadvantage. Just saying.
Well,
but it might be cowardly. It might be. I respect that.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to him. So I said.
As long as you weren't wanting to fight, but I cut you off. You were just saying?
I wasn't going to back down. He said he didn't believe in free speech, but I didn't want to go into that. He didn't like Putin, but I didn't want to go into that. All I told him in regards to Putin was had Trump been president, he would have never invaded. Putin would have never invaded Ukraine. The dummy didn't know what to say, and then he started showing me a ring on his finger. This is who I believe in. He said he didn't believe in God. He was just a crazy dude, man. They're all over the streets.
But
but they're potentially violent.
No, you're not wrong about that.
He knew that I wasn't going to back down. And
but why did he know that? Why did he know that about you?
Because
how could he tell? Because I can tell that about you.
Yeah, by the
how come I can tell that about you?
Well, because I guess the tone of my voice, the way my stature was.
Yeah, but this total stranger could sense that you wouldn't back down, as you would call it.
Yeah, I think he did. Because if I would have said, if I would have said something that would have got him mad, it would have started an argument. And there were other Negroes walking up and down the street. I don't know if they knew him or not, but you know how that goes. You get in a fight with one and you're a white guy, others are going to jump in, and there ain't no whites going to help. So, but I wasn't afraid. I'm not saying I'm Mr. Tough Guy. But in this situation, I just told him how I felt. And,
No, I can understand that. Look, there's something about the culture that might even be foreign to some people. Like, I'm not going to back down and not say what I think. I'm just nitpicking a little bit because, if I may, I'm not trying to even derail what you're saying here. Really not trying to do that with this nitpicking. It's just what I'm trying to say is that you said there's crazy people out here. There's crazy people violent. You got to be careful 100%, man. But this crazy person got a reaction out of you, and you're telling me that this person could sense that in you. And I think that's true. Just from talking with you over a number of times here, I think that's true, that he could sense that. And you're telling me this. So you're telling me there's crazy people out here. Well, this crazy person was able to get a reaction out of you. And not only that, he could see that you were someone like that. He could sense that in you. Do you think, Mark, do you think there's something wrong coming out of you for that? Or am I seeing something wrong here or what?
No, he's not used to a white man, speaking the truth.
Yeah,
and
maybe.
Not cowering
true.
to him.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what it is. The Negroes are so confident in themselves that they got the white man on the run. In fact, one Negro leader said not too long ago that right now we've got the white man on the run. He was referring to the George Floyd killing, and white guilt was like way high, and black, anger was real high. And that's when he said we got the white man.
You think that could get you in trouble, maybe?
What?
This mentality of, I heard these black people are saying they got white people on the run, so I'm not going to run.
Well, yeah, that's what most whites are on the run, especially on the
Yeah, but now you have that in your mind, and in your mind, when a black person comes up to you and says, do you support Trump? Now you're thinking, well, whites are on the run, so I'm not going to run here, so I'm going to tell them, yeah. And I'm going to fight him.
Well, I would have fought had he attacked me.
I think you're right.
The ring, he was threatening me non-directly.
Yeah.
He was showing me this ring. I go, what's that? What is that? He goes, that's my religion, he said. I'm telling you, the guy was nuts. But the streets are full of guys like him. The jails are overflowing with guys like him. Now, I've never been to jail, but I can imagine he was. And from what I've heard from some whites in jail, it's not too sweet. So, people make mistakes and get in trouble and go to jail. But if you're white...
But how come this happened to you out of all the people? Like, I can't help out of everybody, out of all the people out of that, where you are, in your area, the trains, the bus station or whatever, the black guy with the anti-Trump black guy just in a twist of fate ended up talking to Mark and asking Mark why he cares about Trump and what he thinks about the assassination.
Yeah,
I can't help but think that this doesn't just happen. You know what I mean? I guess I'm making a different point. I understand you're saying that there's violent people out there. You won't back down. You won't. I just can't help but kind of also see this maybe secondary, this subplot of,
Well,
white people, maybe some white people thinking they're not going to take it anymore, might get themselves into more trouble than they need to. These are the things running through my mind. What do you think?
You have to scope out the situation. You know David from Ocala, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know
Oh,
what
yeah,
I'm talking about.
I've heard that caller. I don't know if he's ever called my show.
Oh, well, okay.
Go ahead. No problem.
Well, he called Hake last week, and I don't know. I didn't hear the whole conversation, but it got into this deal where if you're a white person and you see a white woman being hassled by a black guy, should you intervene? And Hake was of the mind that, well, maybe not for your own safety. And David said he would, and he brought my name up. He goes, I know Mark would. And so I answered him on Hake's show today. I said I would look at the situation because I had a friend who did that. He intervened when this black guy was hassling a white girl, and it ended up she was a hooker and he was her pimp.
Wow.
Yeah,
You do not want to get involved.
No, he got in trouble. So,
or what if, let's say, you go help out this white lady and she hates you? She's like, "What are you, racist?" Or like any number of things. That's such a. I'm sorry, I cut you off. Please finish what you were saying.
No, that's all. I was going to say, and what I told Hake, and I hope David heard me, is that you got to scope out the situation. If she looks like a prostitute and he looks like a pimp and they do these things, it's better to let it go. But if she's just some innocent girl walking down the street and he's hassling her, I would do. It depends on, again, the situation.
It depends on the situation, man.
To intervene if I thought it was safe. Now, if the guy looked like he had a gun or maybe they were together, I would call the cops.
A little bit of space, folks. Be sober minded here. Mark, let me ask. Let's say, just for funsies, you know, I'm not like the mainstream media. I'm an individual, but I think this is an interesting question here. Let's say you saw a black woman being harassed by a white man. What would you do? Would you help her?
You know what? I have never seen that anywhere.
That's
in my
fair.
life.
Fair. This is a mental experiment. We're going into the land of. We're going into the world of very rare, almost. But go ahead.
Well, no, I was going to add to that. According to what I heard, I could be wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. FBI stats, and I don't know if it was last year or the year before, there wasn't one single interracial rape where it was a white man raping a black woman. Now, there may be cases I didn't know about, and that may not be true, but I have a feeling it is true. And I wouldn't know, unless you contact the FBI, how to find that stat out. But I got to believe...
Let's say you saw a black man beating up on a black woman. Okay, there you go. We're back into reality. Come on. That does... may be rarer, but let's say it was happening. What would you do?
I don't know if that one is so rare.
Which one? Black on black? No, but the other one I was talking about. Even if that one is rare, what would you do in this? I know, shoulda, coulda, woulda. It's weird, but I'm interested in knowing.
Woman?
Or a black man attacking a black woman or something like that. Would you intervene?
On that one,
would you intervene?
I would call the cops. On that one, I would call the cops.
And why would you intervene with the other one and not this one?
You're talking about the white woman being harassed by the black.
Yeah.
Well, because it's probably based on race hate, and I want to save my sister, not my genetic sister, but I want to save my racial sister from whatever evil intent he may have.
Oh man, but you wouldn't save your non-racial sister, your sister in Christ, or your sister in humanity. You wouldn't. But not with the same not with the same. You wouldn't do the same for her that you would for the white lady.
No, to be honest with you, no.
And the reason is?
If he was beating the crap out of her.
Because in this hypothetical, you were presented, you just happened upon this black woman being abused. So it's not every day this happens to you, but this one you'll ignore and call the cops. Because why?
Well, no, if I call the cops, that's not ignoring it.
Or in this one, you'll treat it differently. And the reason is why again?
Well, I don't want to get shot. I don't want to get injured.
But you could get shot with the white lady being harassed.
That's true. You're right. But I guess you could say...
And I'm not going to judge you, by the way, if you're saying it's because she's white or something. I just want to understand how people think.
Basically,
I'm not going to get mad at you. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to... I have some thoughts on that. It sounds... I wonder, do you... I think you've told me you're a Christian. I think you said you have love. I do wonder how you can have a true love for the world, for like how Christ says you should have if you can't love all equally. You know what I mean, Mark? But I'm not coming at you like this. You're a racist. I'm not going to call you those things. I just want you to speak freely.
Let me ask you, how would you handle those scenarios?
I'm not getting involved in any of that crap. What the What the heck? I don't even know. Why are you in that situation? You want me to put my life in danger? Look, I don't. You're asking for what? For what? Let me slow down. You got to be in the situation. I'm not gonna say never. I'm the type of person who, if you ask me, I'm the type of person who might actually get involved, do something. But it really depends. It really, really, really depends. It's got to be in the moment. And if you ask me what advice I would give the world if they're listening to me, it would be to stay out of most situations, even if it looks bad. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
You wouldn't.
I'm not saying go be a hero. No, say again. Like being a hero.
Would you call the police?
I might call the cops, most likely. Yeah, I might call the cops. If there's something I can do, maybe. But in most cases, yeah, I'm not getting involved. I don't care if it's black. I don't care if it's a Christian. I don't care. That's just the wrong mentality. I'm getting involved because I see this person in danger. No, you got to get involved if you see that you can actually do some good. It's so clear to you that you can stop this. It's so clear to you that whatever, then I guess it's when you get involved. But this person's in danger because she's a woman. You're going to get yourself killed. And you're going to end up saving someone who's, how do I put this? Who may, I don't even want to, I guess so. Yeah, in a sense. Yeah, may not deserve it, would hate you, would turn on you tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's just the wrong mentality.
Like a friend of mine that got arrested when he tried to help what he thought was a decent white girl. She ended up being a prostitute, and he was the black guy was the pimp, and my friend got in trouble for trying to do a good deed.
But see, that's the thing. It's not even a good deed. That's why I kind of see that whole shebang. I kind of see that whole thing differently. I wouldn't even call it a good deed. And I think that's what stops me from going around getting involved with anything I see, because I'm not of the thinking that, because here's what people think. When people see someone, when they hear of a story of a guy who played the hero and saw some woman getting beat up and went in there, or let's take the story of your friend, for example, who went and helped this white lady. Turns out she's a prostitute, got in trouble. People will hear that story and will think, well, at least he did a good thing. Okay, maybe it was dumb, maybe it was ill-advised, maybe he got it wrong, but at least he did like a brave and good thing. No, I wouldn't even call it that. People will look at someone giving food to a homeless person and say, well, maybe it's maybe it's wrongly placed, but at least it's a good thing. No, it's not even that. It's actually a corrupt thing. Most people, when they going out helping someone, it's out of like a feeling, it's out of an ego thing. It's not really to really help them.
Well, okay, I could see that, but there's a difference. A homeless person put himself in the spot he's in. An innocent white woman walking down the street getting accosted by a black guy who has bad intentions, I don't put that on the same level as feeding a homeless person.
Fair. That's fair. I wouldn't put that at the same level either. But you know what I would put on the same level? I would put on the exact same level as with the homeless situation is someone who looks upon a scene like that. They'll look at a scene where a woman is being accosted, and they'll think to themselves, this white woman or this poor woman needs my help. That is the same level as the homeless thing. No, if you see whoever it is that is in trouble and you can clearly see that you can help them, and it's nothing to do with what you shoulda, coulda, woulda done because of their identity or something like that, then that's the truth. That's the truth of that situation. I can see clearly that if I did this, if I put my arm here or did something, it would do this. You understanding me here? But that when you see a scene like that, and you're like, this poor blah, 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 is the same feeling of the homeless thing.
Okay. No, wait a minute. Let's talk about Lincoln Riley. Let's say you're jogging down the path and you see that savage from Venezuela who raped and murdered her, raping and murdering her. You would just keep on going, huh?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. Say again. Say again the situation. You're saying I walk upon a scene and this woman is being raped and murdered?
Let's specify. Lincoln Riley. She was raped and murdered on the jogging track. I mean, on the jogging trail. So if you, Nick, are on the jogging trail and you see this monster from Venezuela doing this to the woman, what do you do?
I'd probably call the cops. I don't know. I really don't know what I would do. Going with what's most likely.
Hey, get out of there.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd even say that. I might be too scared.
You would let her die?
I don't know what it is. I don't know what I do, but I'm not going to go around telling people you got to go be a hero.
Well, I'm not either.
I'm not going to feel bad about it either. I'm not going to call myself a hero or courageous because clearly I didn't do anything. Maybe I did do the cowardly thing, but I'm not going to say that that's that's like that I'm noble because I walked upon someone and was like,
do
you understand what I'm saying here? Like, that's a situational thing. And we're here sitting on a call and sitting comfortably saying what people could have, would have done in this or that situation and who's a hero and who's not.
Well, noble's one thing, but saving someone's life, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, but neither you or I are doing that. Neither you or I are in that situation where we're saving someone's life. We're asking each other what we would have done. You're saying, well, I would help a white woman in this or that situation. I'm just pointing out that your source of that seems to be it seems to be an ego, like emotional source. And I think people following that will find themselves more often than not in dangerous situations that they didn't need to be. All because of why? Because they felt bad for who? White women? White women are a mess. They're in trouble. They hate men. They hate white men.
You're talking about the liberal kind of white. I'm just talking about the average white girl who has no politics, just out there.
No, that's fair. I may be adding to it where I don't need to be.
Liberal? I don't think so.
You're right. I may be adding to it where I don't need to be, but yeah, I don't know. Like,
I don't know. I guess I just believe it's instinctive for when I see a member of my race being attacked to try to help him or her. I don't think that's so bad.
I don't know. I don't know if it's bad. I'm not calling it bad. Do you call it love?
Yeah.
But you don't show that love. You wouldn't show that love to like if it was someone else. It's only a white girl. And through this love, you'll put yourself in a higher danger for someone you don't even know because of this love for your race. It just falls apart for me. I'm not calling it bad. I wouldn't call it love though. So far in what you described, I don't buy it.
Oh yeah.
And you said you're a Christian. I wouldn't call it love.
I am. But that don't mean you can't love your own race.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that loving your own race.
Pardon?
It doesn't sound, what you described doesn't sound like loving your own race. It sounds like
protecting a white woman?
Yeah, that doesn't sound like loving your race. That sounds like you
I love the woman.
That sounds like you sacrificing yourself for something you don't even know. Imagine you go in and save that white woman. She's like, "Man, Mark from California saved my." She goes on the news and she's like, "Thank you, Mark." And but I found out he's a racist, so actually F that guy. And you're dead. And here you are loving your race. It just doesn't sound like love for your race. I'm not going to call it bad. I'm not necessarily saying that, or that's something you shouldn't do. But I wouldn't call it love so far. I just don't buy it so far.
Well, white womanhood is what we need to protect the most because they're the ones that reproduce our race. And if they destroy the white woman, there is no white race. They're our most important resource. White women. I'm not talking about the liberals. I'm not talking about the race mixing white liberal commies. I'm talking about average white women. The average woman who's not a leftist and in some cases may love their own race. They're the most important people because they reproduce our race. Without the white woman, the white race would perish. So you have to think about that stuff.
I mean, yeah, sure. I guess you could think about that stuff, but the conclusion is not, let me sacrifice myself for some woman every white woman on the street. It's a misplacing of love. But I think I've explained myself here, Mark. Is there something else you want to say real quick before I let you go? I got to let you go here, sir. We've spent plenty of time.
Nah, not really. I appreciate your time.
I do
God
too.
bless you.
I mean, thank you for your call.
Wait, there is one more thing. Did you know they dropped the dox case against Trump?
I heard that. Let's go.
That's a big deal, man. And he picked J.D. Vance to be his VP.
Oh, he picked it already? That's it?
Yep, they just announced it.
Breaking news, I think, folks, here from Mark. Appreciate that. Who is J.D. Vance? Trump chooses J.D. as his running mate. This is HuffPost. USA Today, J.D. Vance once called Trump noxious. What do you think about it? Real quick, Mark. I heard he was a never-Trumper. How do we feel about J.D.?
In the beginning. That was before he got to know Trump. Trump endorsed him for the Senate race in Ohio, and he won. He's a great conservative. He's good on every issue. On every issue, he's in line with President Trump.
If you notice, the media goes at him a little bit the way they did for the Project 2025 stuff. And if they're feeling that way about J.D. Vance, he can't be all that bad, right? But I've heard some other stuff. I don't know if it's all I don't know. You get these guys who've been in the establishment and they get this money and stuff from the establishment. You just wonder, as well talking as they may seem, but whatever.
Guy.
Look, if the media if the media has this problem with him like that, I mean, he can't be that bad of a guy. Look, best of all, JD, best for Trump. Let's see what happens.
Did you like Rubio?
I don't really know. That's a name from like pre-2016 politics, no? And the anchor baby.
No, he's a current senator. He was Trump's second pick.
I heard about that. And doesn't this guy suck though?
Yeah, he's a rhino.
But that's like not just like any rhino. Like he sucks, right? That's my impression. That's my impression.
Well, the problem with Rubio was he was part of the Gang of Eight, if you're familiar with that. Those are the ones that tried to push a huge amnesty on America when Bush was president. He absolutely sucked then. He's criticized Trump, but he says Rubio supports the mass deportation of illegal aliens under Trump. He said it right on TV yesterday, but Trump didn't pick him. I would have chosen J.D. Vance anyway.
We'll see what happens with him. Mark, thank you for your call. I got to let you go, sir. Call me again.
Thank you. God bless. Bye.
Oh, sorry about that, Mark. A little too quick on the button there on my part. 888-775-3773. Oh, Lord. There's just so much crud. There's just so much links and stuff coming out. I don't think I want to do any more of the shooter stuff. You're welcome to call about it and speak on it. But there was this, speaking of immigration, speaking of the chart that saved the president's life as he turned away in a moment to look at the chart describing the mess at the border, the existential threat to America through birthright citizenship. Anchor babies are having babies like never before, replacing Americans, both white and beyond, mostly white. Even churning out liberal communist children. It's a mess, truly a mess. And of a proportion you don't even understand. But maybe this will make you understand a little bit. I mentioned Saturday. Was it Saturday? I mentioned on Friday. We know we took our flight to Germany on Friday so that we could watch the Euro Cup, the UEFA European Championship, a soccer match. They had their final this past Sunday, Germany versus England. On White History Month, no less, in Europe. We went to Germany to watch it. We're role-playing, okay? Come watch it Friday next stream. You'll understand. We went to Germany. We went to Berlin to watch Germany versus England. England lost is the news on that. Germany wins. On White History Month, no less. Ausländer. Okay. And so that's going on. Germany won. England lost. I'm segueing into soccer a little bit because there was a soccer match in America. Copa America. And sorry, not in America. In America, but non-American teams. We're going on this side of the world for this tournament, okay? And a lot of players, Canada, okay? It came to the finals. I'm sorry. Not Germany versus England, Spain versus England. I just remembered. I'm not even looking at chat. I wonder if you guys are all correcting me. It was Spain versus England, and the Espanol won. The Spaniards won. The Moors, the Moorish whites won on White History Month. And the English lost. Spanish or English? English or Spanish? And Spanish won, beating out England in White History Month, no less. And they were telling the English before the match started, look at the propaganda they were playing for the English team, for the English fans, and for fans beyond the world. Look at this propaganda they were playing. On the screen, you're seeing ads for the game. During the game, it said, look, you can see this here. It says, England doesn't win without immigration. Look at this propaganda. And what's funny about that is that's probably true in terms of soccer, Spanish national team. Let us look at the very Spanish national team. Maybe the propaganda is correct that England does not win without immigration. In fact, their greatest player, this young guy. Who's this young guy? Their young forward for the Spanish team, the 16-year-old. This amazing player, they're saying, is the next guy. He was even baptized by Messi. I showed you Friday a picture of Messi baptizing this kid as a baby. Now 16, Lamine Yamal. A very Spanish name. Lamine Yamal. Yeah, maybe the propaganda is right. You don't win soccer games without immigration. Yes, very Spanish. Look, this is Messi baptizing him. Yeah. So there's your White History Month propaganda during the Euro Cup over there in Germany. Coming back here on this side of the world for Copa America, it was Argentina versus Colombia. Colombia on a 24-win streak. People were on the edge of their seats. Can they bring it home? Can they really beat Argentina with Messi on the team? Can they do the impossible? They didn't. 1-0. Argentina wins is how it went down. But check this out. You got to see what happened outside. You got to see what happened, the pandemonium, the chaos outside of the stadium. Crazy scenes from Hard Rock Stadium. Where was the Copa America final? Where was it? It was Miami. And this is the reports from USA Today. Miami mayor outraged by Copa America disaster at Hard Rock Stadium. Joins calls for change. And so here's what's going on. Here are some of the crazy scenes from these soccer hooligans, all wearing Colombian jerseys, Argentina jerseys. Ain't no American team. It wasn't Canada. It wasn't America. Okay, they were already out of the tournament. So whoever was watching them, they're like, okay, we wish you well, Canada, America, and other teams in America, in the American continent side that we care about. Wishing you well. We'll let these Hispanics now duke it out. And so they did. And they go to Miami, and you just got to see some of these scenes. You got to see some of these scenes. It's a mess. And remember the immigration chart in your mind. Remember the chart that saved Donald Trump's life. So here's some of the reports. Fans broke down walls to get into the stadium. This game should not be played.
You cannot make...
Look at this.
People have literally broken down the walls of Hard Rock Stadium and are entering through the ventilation system.
Look at this.
You cannot make...
And of course, they have to be wearing La Selección. They have to be wearing the Colombian jersey. Don't worry. Let me just calm down. Little Colombian jersey. Look, little Colombian rats. They're just getting in wherever they can. Open it up. Just break through.
This up. This is Copa
I'm sorry.
America.
It's just a horrible look, folks.
This is Copa America. Wow.
Tenía que ser colombianos. Tenía que ser colombianos. Crazy scenes from Hard Rock Stadium as fans are trying every means to get inside the venue of 2024 Copa America. You got to understand, any means necessary. This is something you got to pay for. In America, you get a ticket. Yes, I know it's a mess in America, but that's still something you do in America. In America, you get a ticket, you wait in line, and you get a ticket that you purchase to get in. Tenía que ser colombianos. Where are the Argentinian jerseys? Are the Argentinians just this? Are there actually the more white Hispanics down there with that nice way of speaking? Is it boludo? Óyeme, boludo. They're showing you up, Colombians. You Colombians, you're supposed to speak the very nice Spanish down there, right? The Castellano Spanish. All the Mexicans, all the other Hispanics are like, oh, look at the Colombians. They speak so nice. What is this? What is this crap? What the heck is this? Look at this. And they had to be escandalosos too, yelling everywhere. Shh, shh, shh. Someone round these people up and throw them in jail. This is so egregious to me. There's a fence there for a reason, Chomo. What the? It's just egregious, folks. I mean, this just in America. In America. I don't know I'm being ridiculous, but still, it's still kind of a, I don't know, to me, it's just, this sucks. Colombian migrants don't want to pay for tickets, according to the caption of this video. I don't know what they mean, but check it out. Look how crazy it gets. It had to be la selección. They got law enforcement or whatever, or security, and they won't stop. They won't stop. I'm coming in. What are you trying to do, man? Are you trying to riot? No. There's now, at this point, before you could like jump the fence and be like, well, nobody's telling me anything. And I'm seeing all these people go, because I can hear them now. Ya los escucho. I can hear the Colombians right now. Oh, no one's saying anything. Oh, nobody's telling me. Nobody's told me anything. Look at all of them jumping over. Now you have literal law enforcement or security pushing you back, and there should be at this point you should be like, oh, okay, well, my bad. You should do the Colombian thing, which I know all too well. You should now do you should be like, oh, okay, my bad, I didn't know. I'm being mean to the Colombians. Look, they're pushing you. It's time to leave, and they won't. It's what a mess. And then we'll get to calls. ¡Qué barbaridad! Oh, pues pásese por encima. Pues pásese por encima. Now you got police. Miami-Dade. Yeah. So that's a mess. This is in America. This is the USA. I mean, I hope you understand the point. Like, the USA is going to be changing in the next few years, in the next decade, in the next decades. And it's going to be slow. It's going to be over time. It's not going to be all of a sudden. There's not going to be a moment that says, wow, this is truly the moment where America's flipping, where where you got to do. It's going to be slow. It's going to be over time. And then the corruption, you'll look around and you'll be in South Africa. You will literally be in South Africa. You will look around one day and you will be in South Africa. More like next week, says delighted to be here. I know at this rate. Do you understand that? The level, you don't know what the world is like, okay? Have you ever left America? Have you been to a third world country? You're not ready. You're not ready for the level of third worldism or whatever that's going to be your neighborhood. And it'll be slow, and it'll be over time, and it won't be a definite moment, and it won't be televised. There won't be anything like that where you could say, this is when America changed. This is when we shoulda, coulda, woulda fought. This is when I was supposed to do this or that. That's not happening. It's the biggest world wars that ever, the world wars happened. The most human life ever. The cost was incalculable, or Maybe it was calculated, but it's a big number. And people thought, surely society will collapse. Surely these societies, these post-war societies that lost with their crushing debt, with their further internal wars and civil wars that happen after, surely they'll collapse. And society it'll be like anarchy. It'll be like a zombie apocalypse without zombies. That literally never happened. All these cities and societies, they had their strife, they had their pain, they had the things, they had their death, but people still got up and had to go to work. They still had to pay their bills, and all that happened. As it turned into a hellscape, sure, in some cases, but it didn't. Society didn't collapse. So just I don't know, just letting you know, I guess. Just saying it. With these soccer hooligans in Miami, no less, Florida, in the United States, in the United States. I come to the United States. I love the United States. United States. That's United States now. So it depends where you go, right? United States, United States. Why is soccer a thing? Baffles my mind. Have you ever kicked the ball around, Kevin Howe? Do you have any wonder? Do you have a shred of a childlike wonder? Have you ever kicked a ball around, me? It's absolutely delicious. The way you could touch it with the outside of the foot, the inside of the foot, you could roll it around. You could keep it up in the air. You know, I can't say I watch soccer. I can't even bring myself to watch sports like that anymore. I don't know what it is, if I'm just too busy or something. I like watching games and moments that are exciting, or going out and playing myself, although I haven't done that lately. I'm looking like a cave troll with my pale complexion lately. Shout out to everybody on the internet. Shout out everybody who's got back pain. Shout out everybody who's got carpal tunnel. Shout out everybody who's pale skinned from not going outside. I love you guys. I can't even bring myself to watch sports like that. Like follow different men and different teams and where they're going and what they're saying. I just can't bring myself to do that. You know what I mean? Lately, I just can't do it. I can't do it. But we always love Messi. We always love Ronaldo when we see them do their stuff. Who's the new names now? I mean, they're saying this Almin, whatever, Spaniard is, this Arab Spaniard, maybe he's more Spaniard than I give him credit for. More classic Spaniard than I give him credit for. They're saying he's the new guy. Hey, whatever. Soccer hooliganism. Would you rather, English soccer hooligans or these Hispanic soccer hooligans? I don't know what's worse. But yeah, it truly is a beautiful game. It's a beautiful game. The drama. 2 hours of running and only 1 or 2 goals. It's like 2 hours, man, and you can't. It's like, who's gonna win? It's like anything can happen. Bill's looking at me like it's not true. The drama. Bill, the game is so old and traditional. It's like a story. It's like a story every game, and technology doesn't. It's up to the ref. That's why he gets stuff wrong. If he's blind, if he's deaf, he must be a ref. Why are you looking at me like that? It's a beautiful game, Bill. Goal, and it's like only 1 or 2 goals, and it's like, dang, it's a slog fest. It's a total slog fest. And amazing. That moment, that one moment could have been a goal. Anyways, I guess that's all sports. It's a beautiful game. I just like the little touches too. I like the control, all the little pizzazz with the ball when people are on the ball. I guess I like going myself out and playing, really. It's just fun. But dang, what else am I saying here? Soccer crap. I'm trying to filibuster here because I have these great segments here from Japanese women, all the way from Japanese women to Farrakhan and colonialism, that we just don't have the time to really give that its proper time here. So we're going to leave that for tomorrow. Hope you've been enjoying today's show. Motorsports rules them all. Nick trying to get us to go to his games. I guess so. Some people say it's boring. Yeah, you gotta like it. Yeah, there's definitely more exciting. I still find it exciting, but I can't bring myself to follow this team and this man or that man, what he's doing. But yeah, third world, jumping the fences like zombies, crawling over. And no amount of law enforcement and rules is going to hold them back. They deserve to be in the stadium. And it's not even that. It's just animals. Look, that guy's doing it. I get to do it. Rules? In this country? I don't care about that. I got to watch Colombia play. I don't know. Goal, 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 goal. That's funny, Kevin Howe. Yeah, there's actually a group of Mexicans that play at this park nearby, and when I was going more regularly, we'd get down a little bit. They got their breath up big time, these Mexicans out in that park. But that's it from the Anchor Baby, folks. I hope you enjoyed the show today. Catch me tomorrow at 12 noon for more American Anchor Baby as we do. Before I let you go, I want to check the Super Chats here. Check the coffees here. Haven't shown them love as we should. Lin Yan Chin. Hold up. We got Lin Yan Chin. Thank you so much. We got, in fact, a couple of Super Chats here. Let's kick it off with Lucky Larry. Oh, I already read that one. How are those tacos? Lin Yan Chin says, emotions are the disturbance in the force of your heart. Only inner stillness clears it up. Have you tried my Anchor Baby silent burrito making? Definitely something you want to check out. Lin Yan Chin says, Nick is Trump. Ever see both in the same room? I can't comment on that. I can neither confirm nor deny these allegations. Yes, Gunner94 says, Trump chose J.D. Vance as his VP. That was probably even breaking news earlier. Thank you, Yes Gunner, for that. Lord of the Pies says, thoughts on Trump's VP pick? I don't have much. Besides this. I've heard, besides this, the media seems to have this sort of fear of, they kind of, the way they talk about J.D. Vance is, they make him as radical as this Project 2025 stuff. And I don't know how radical that is, but that can't be a bad thing. That means I sense threats. I sense threats when I sense that. On the other hand, I know that I heard and then looked it up and saw how J.D. Vance, so basically, here's my understanding. There's this big money in this political world, okay? You may have heard a name I brought up the other day, Reid Hoffman and this other guy, Peter Thiel. And these guys had a big public fight over supporting Trump and Biden. And they're Silicon Valley people with a bunch of money. And I guess I can't tell you the significance. I can't tell you that. But I can tell you why some people are having apprehension with the money behind Vance. Now, if you know anything, Peter Thiel donated like $15 million to get J.D. Vance elected in Ohio. And why does that matter? Well, I can't even tell you, but here's what I heard. The money that backed Trump coming from this Peter Thiel world, they are doing it reluctantly. Initially, they were like not with Trump. Initially, even while Trump was running, they wanted these Trump but not Trump people like DeSantis, Nikki Haley. And now after seeing that it's going to be Trump, they're reluctantly supporting Trump. And I can't even tell you why that's bad, but if you ask me, when I confirmed that for myself that that's true, if you know anything about politics, human nature, my internal what I'm trying to say here is my spidey senses went off. Like loyalty is the question that comes to my mind. And I guess you don't need someone kneeling and pledging their full allegiance to Trump as they should, as I'd like to see. I guess you don't necessarily need that. So J.D. Vance, wishing you well, wishing Trump well. I think when you think about it, out of all the picks, it may have been the best one, politically speaking, on who might be effective. Like, look at all these other people. Tim Scott, Marco Rubio. But these are just some of my initial thoughts. Loyalty comes to mind when you think about the reluctant support of Trump. But who cares, I guess. If you ask me, I think Trump is the type of guy to navigate that stuff. So take the money, take the sinner's money, Mr. President, and do your thing. Wishing them well. And so those are my initial thoughts. Sorry, I'm rambling now. Left Democrat media fear of J.D. Vance, making me think cool things. Peter Thiel, Palantir, all that money, reluctant support of Trump. Whatever. Do we even need you? Who cares? Those are my initial thoughts. Let me continue the super chats here. 𝒔𝒊𝒂𝒎, thank you so much, says, Nick, you're telling me normal citizens saw him for minutes and Secret Service wasn't in on it? 𝒔𝒊𝒂𝒎. Now, I don't know if you're peddling in conspiracy theories, and I'm just messing with you, but have you seen how diverse they are? You know, they say the three-letter agencies like the FBI, CIA, etc., have had their part, and I'm only saying what I've heard and that's alleged. Okay, I'm not making any claims here, CIA, if you're listening, but you know what they say about you, right? They say that you've been involved in dirty assassinations and other dirty things to do with politics before. Could it be that they just couldn't pull it off this time because they're full of fat women now? It's like they're trying to do another coup, another psyop, or another false flag, dirty dealings of the deep state, but they're actually a little too diverse to make it to really clinch it this time. The memes that are coming out right now. Appreciate the super chat there, Kale. Lin Yen Chin with another one says, Spice, they got high on spice and it doesn't hurt them. What hurts them is the preceding conditioning to make the mentat into living supercomputers. You not read the books? Spice expands consciousness. Lin Yen Chin is talking about Dune. I made a little joke earlier about the internet and how I'm basically this plugged in freak, and that's why I know so much. I can read the sands of the darkness, and so that I can translate them for you, so that you may be wary of darkness in the world. Okay, thank you, Lin Yen Chin, for understanding me there. buymeacoffee.com/anchorbaby. Thank you for the support. We're getting one from Carver. Thank you. Says, hey, Nick, the conspiracy theories are running wild and getting pretty entertaining. The WWE ear, I think, is nuts. The WWE ear, I think, is nuts. And really am surprised to hear so-called males getting in on it. During the first day or so, it was only females suggesting that. What did I miss here with that, Carver? WWE? What am I not understanding with that? I'll continue, though. Having said that, a conspiracy theory that actually holds some water is, of course, the deep state setup, not just the failure of Secret Service, but consider this. Biden was ready for the press conference after nappy time. He doesn't just wake up and be ready for camera. He was ready. He just thought he'd be delivering some slightly different news. Maybe even add on to that with the ads being pulled. Maybe the ads had a slightly too topical tone. Stuff about political violence going too far. That's getting a little into schizo territory. But Sleepy Joe being awake and juiced up for the conference is basically a signed confession. Maybe. It's just interesting to think about and always leave room for doubt. Always leave room for doubt and all that. But in this, because my audience is so used to leaving room for doubt, let's not be such... You know, you heard it me say, leave space, have a wait and see. But don't go around call it. Let's say you're hearing some of the people ask their questions about the deep state and political assassination stuff. Like, oh, whoa, man, calm down. I'm not making any claims here. Let me be clear. I'm not making any claims. But that's the world we're in. The politics is not this left, right, oh, Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi and just, hey, you got to do. That's all a show. That's all a show. And Trump has shown that from 2016, just how deep it goes and how far they're willing to go. So have a wait and see attitude with all things. Appreciate you listening to my show today. Catch me tomorrow at noon for more American Anchor Baby and the Bond Network, starting bright and early, 6 a.m. Pacific time with Jesse Lee Peterson. All right, y'all. That's it from me. Take care. Peace. Bye.